What's up, bikers? It's Pierce with electricbikereport.com, and today we have the Lectric XP Low Step. This is a foldable, budget-friendly e-bike priced around the $1,000 price point that packs a serious punch and was an absolute blast to ride. Lectric does a great job of getting you a really good, fun bike at a very good price point, and we think you'll be impressed with the serious punch that this thing packs. This comes with 4-inch wide tires and has a top speed capability of 28 miles per hour. Overall, it's the perfect setup for a fun time on an e-bike without breaking the bank, and I'm really looking forward to showing you what this bike's all about. We'll see you out there on the trails.
When Lectric sends you your XP Step-Thru, it will come fully assembled and will only require a few small steps to get ready to ride. Lectric also sends you all the necessary tools needed for the bike. We were impressed with how quickly we were able to assemble the XP, and all we had to do was unfold the bike, install the handlebars, adjust saddle height, and pump up the tires. Then we were ready to ride.
So now that you're a little bit more familiar with the Lectric XP Low Step, I want to dive into what makes it such a fun bike. So on this bike here, you're equipped with a 500 watt motor with an 800 watt peak. What that means is Lectric has designed this motor to have some power in the reserve, so when things get tough, you can stay fresh and have the bike take over on steeper hills and everything like that. You also have a 48 volt battery on this with a 4 to 6 hour charge time. That should be plenty of charge for you during your ride. Any more than that and you're pretty hardcore, I think. You also have 20 by 4-inch wide tires on this thing that are gonna make this bike a lot more versatile than it would be with a smaller, thinner tire. I really like the LCD display on this as well. This is gonna give you plenty of readout, and it's also going to offer a lot of customization when it comes to your assistance levels, and it's also going to help you a lot when it comes to seeing where your battery life is and stuff like that. Overall, Lectric has given you a killer bike for being under $1,000, and it's been up to the test for just about everything we've put it through so far. It's also a blast to ride, and I've been really impressed with this Step-Thru frame overall. This Step-Thru frame is gonna be a lot better for shorter riders and give you a lower center of gravity to really keep you planted on those corners and more balance in general on your ride.
The rest of the components you get on the XP Step-Thru are quite good for the $900 price point. You'll receive Tektro mechanical disc brakes, a Shimano Tourney drivetrain with a 7-gear range, and a super comfortable Lectric cushioned saddle. The Lectric XP Step-Thru feels like it's in its element when riding on pavement, dirt roads, and gravel, where it glided right over the top with ease. The XP setup is great for those who don't want to be contained to one riding surface and want to explore far and wide. The XP handled a little bit better than what we expected. The 4-inch wide tires were confidence-inspiring on corners, and the 20-inch wheels have a tight turn radius. Because of this, we carried speed around corners where we would have been braking on a thinner tire. After just a couple miles on the XP, all of our test riders became pretty comfortable and confident in the handling of the XP. This is pretty impressive considering the wide array of heights our test riders have. When we went full throttle on the XP, we felt just as confident as we did at lower speeds. Despite being a fast, heavy bike, the XP also stopped quite quickly. The mentioned low center of gravity, 63-pound weight, and 20 by 4-inch wide tires helped the XP handle well at low speeds too.
So now that you're a little bit more familiar with the Lectric XP, I want to go a little bit more in depth on the things that we liked and didn't like. And since we had such a fun time on this bike, it was kind of hard to find things that we didn't like about it. So first off, the pros with this bike, the main one we noticed was how powerful and quick this thing was. This thing gets up to speed super quick and can really take over when things get tough to keep you fresh when you're riding. I also really like this LCD display. This has one of the biggest readouts that I've seen on a bike at this price point, and it also offers a lot of customization so you can really dial in your assist levels to the way you like to ride. The 4.0 fat tires on this thing was another thing that I really liked. Riding on these things with the amount of power that this bike has was an absolute blast. When you're off-road, these things grip really well, and when you're on-road, you get super good tractions on the corners and everything. Because of the amount of air that they have in them, they also kind of act as suspension and provide a wide range of feel for if you're on-road or off-road. Overall, this is just a super fun bike. If you're looking for a bike to take camping with you, to commute across campus with, or just to have a fun little adventure on, this is definitely the bike for you, and you can get it without really breaking the bank, which is really nice. So, unfortunately, no e-bike is perfect, and there were a few things that we would change with this bike. One being, with it being a foldable e-bike, I would like there to be a latch that would hold the bike together once it was folded. While the bike does fold out very compact, this bike doesn't have a latch to hold it together, so when you're lifting it, it can kind of start to unfold, and that makes it a lot harder to lift into the areas like trunks and storage spaces. On longer rides, I did notice these grips were a little bit hard. That's not the biggest issue though. Wearing riding gloves solved that issue for me, and that is gonna be a pretty easy thing for Lectric to alter. And then the last thing is the key placement. I didn't like that I had to leave the key in when I was riding this bike. I didn't really like that it was on the underside right here. I like to know where my key is at. It does stay in very well, but if they do insist on leaving the key in, I would like to be able to see it when riding so I don't have the worry of hitting big bumps and having it fall out on the trail somewhere. So with all that being said, this is a super powerful, quick bike with an awesome display, rugged tires, and a decent battery life. I really appreciate you guys watching this review of the Lectric XP Low Step. And for more e-bike content and a more in-depth review, be sure to visit our link in the bio. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below, and be sure to leave a thumbs up for our future videos. Be sure to give a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.